Alright guys, it looks like we disconnected while recording game 3. So we did end up getting cut off in the middle of that and losing because we DC'd, but that's okay. It was another mech mage, so I think we would have won. But I also we already looked at two of those matchups, so it's fine. Probably not losing out on anything there. So jumping into our third game again this time. Looks like Druid. This is good. The Druid matchup is definitely a hard one, but I think it's very winnable. So going first here, none of these cards are aggressive enough. We want our buffs and our very strong one drops early against Druid, so we're gonna mulligan this whole hand. Good. I like Flame Imp against Druid because they can't hero power it, so they have to have Wrath, and they also have to spend an entire turn clearing it or take the 3 damage. And Echoing Ooze is a very good draw against Druid because has inherent protection from swipe with the 2 health. So here, if our opponent coins Wrath, he's losing out on. Looks like our opponent's playing Zombie Chows. Zombie Chows are historically pretty hard for this deck to deal with, but that's okay. We're just gonna have to trade, otherwise it's gonna kill too many of our creatures, and we will play an Echoing Ooze here to get some creatures on the board. Playing an egg without any activators is a little bit sketchy. Opponent has Wild Growth too. Opponent has a very good start, and he has coins, so he could coin a 5-drop next turn potentially. Direwolf Alpha is very strong though. So, probably going to play this next turn to clear the taunt our opponent is going to coin. And we want to do this in the way that we put it in the center of our 2 creatures, and we sort of peel our creatures in to clear it. So we're going to place our creatures like this. And this way we can put our Direwolf in the middle and then deal 2, 3, and 1 to the Druid of the Claw. Then we have the Ooze, a 2/2 Ooze to attack with, and a 5/4 on this side. Looks like it was not Druid of the Claw. Looks like it was Sen'jin Shieldmaster. And that actually means we can't activate the egg immediately, but that's fine. So we're still going to do this. Now we're going to move in with the egg, move in with the egg. We could tap here, we could play another egg. I kind of like playing another egg, and I'm going to play it on this side so when we trade this other egg can activate. Because if we play it on this, it'll never get the Direwolf buff, because this will have been turned into a 4/4, or a 5/4 because of the Direwolf buff. So again, thinking about the sort of positioning in this deck. So our opponent innervating a Ancient of War, a golden Ancient of War. That is pretty annoying. So we're gonna start by shaving these in. And then we are going to not attack with this. We're gonna go. Actually, anything we play would just die to this. But then we can get a clear with the. I think we're just going to go like this, and then the Ancient of War will have to trade with this, ideally. And then we're gonna pass, because if we had taunted the Leopardome, he would just kill it and get a little bit of free value that way. So hopefully our opponent doesn't have a silence or any great answers there. Even if he does, it's not disastrous, but it's pretty bad for us. Ancient of War is one of the best cards against this deck, just because of the pure stats, and because we have dealing with big creatures like this is sometimes a problem when our hand's a little bit awkward. But I think we dealt with it fine. This is fine. Now we have to trade 2 creatures for it, but that still works out okay. Looks like our opponent's going to kill the Direwolf Alpha now. We will tap here before doing anything else. Looks like we will do that. And because Doomguard will discard our cards anyway, we're going to taunt up the defender so that he can't hero power clear the Leper Gnome, should that be relevant. Now our opponent's fairly low. We've dealt with an Ancient of War, so barring our opponent having another one, I think we're in fine shape with this board. Dr. Boom's fine because, never thought I'd say that, but, so here we can go Doomguard tap. That puts our opponent to 6. Or we could implode this, and our opponent probably doesn't have another swipe, and we can clear this. Kind of like imploding and waiting a little bit on the Doomguard, just because the deck is a lot about board presence. Had I known that would be the role, I might not have gone for that line, but if we have the luxury to clear the board, I think we should. And in that case, I think that was better than just having our entire board cleared, and leaving him with the Dr. Boom. So hopefully these bombs hit face, and not kill my creatures. Killing an imp is okay. Hopefully this one hits face. Ugh, brutal. See, that could have been worse. So, I mean, we can't clear the Kel'Thuzad, so I think even trying might be kind of pointless. I think we just have to hope to race. I think we want to do that with Doomguard. Opponent's just getting bombs every turn. Yeah, let's go Doomguard. Let's tap. Might as well play this. Yeah, gives us a spare part. So now our hope is that our opponent doesn't heal or play taunts, and we play Doomguard, then tap into Power Overwhelming. That is our game plan now. Or, if our opponent uses Kel'Thuzad to help clear the Doomguard, we could draw another Implosion and kill Kel'Thuzad that way. I think if we rolled a little bit higher on the Implosion, we definitely would have won this game. Because I don't think this matchup's that awful. If we rolled higher on that Implosion, we still would have had a 3-2 and 3-3-3s. So that's 6 extra damage our opponent would have taken, and even more over the course of those turns. So I think if we had the this game's not a loss necessarily, but I think the Implosion roll is probably what decided it, since Druid is a fairly even matchup. So RNG is going to play a part in deciding who wins. Looks like our opponent is thinking about his turn here for quite a while, which is good because it means he doesn't have a fairly obvious play. Which means he's not necessarily winning immediately. That seems reasonable. If our opponent doesn't have time to attack the Doomguard, it's possible we could, oh, jeez. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem for us. Implosion to kill the Kel'Thuzad. If we have Implosion plus Juggler, that could do something. Guess if we do this, we aren't necessarily dead, but it's looking pretty bleak. Azure Drag's gonna come out for my opponent here. And normally I concede something like this, but since we are doing a video series, I think it's good to play the games out. You can learn a lot even when you're getting completely crushed. And my opponent has lethal here. Alright. Overall, I think Druid's a fine matchup. I just think maybe got a little bit unlucky there, but that's fine.